I'm Jordan.
I'm Moss.
And today we're going to talk about the first Conjuring movie.
Okay, so the first Conjuring movie, well, all Conjuring movies are based on true stories. But the first Conjuring movie goes through the livings of the Perron family and how Ed and Lorraine Warren, which are demonologists and paranormal investigators, go to the house of the Perron family after they had just moved in and start to notice strange things happening in the house. Like, they find this boarded up cellar in the house, and like a few paranormal events happening within the first few nights, like every clock in the house stopping at 3:07 a.m. every night. And Carolyn Perron wakes up in the middle of the night, or just in the morning, with new bruises just around her, and she thinks it's from her husband and him sleeping and just creating bruises in his sleep, or just her creating bruises. And she doesn't tell anyone about it, ever. She just thinks
stupid.
Yeah, she just thinks it's just a natural thing that happens. And then their dog Sadie, at the beginning of the movie, they have 5 children, and one of their children go outside to try and find their dog Sadie, and she finds that the dog is passed on. No explanation of why or anything. And one of their daughters, Christine, I think, has a lot of it feels like she's being targeted a lot, because she wakes up one night and thinks she sees this spirit behind the door. And so she's trying to wake up her sister Nancy, and it's there's someone behind the door. Yeah, she's there's someone behind the door, and she's crying, and she's there's no one behind the door, what are you talking about? And so she goes up to the door, and she moves the door, and she's see, there's no one there, and then the door slams, and they start screaming, and then they start running, and then they Carolyn and Roger Perron, the mom and dad, find out about Ed and Lorraine and them being paranormal investigators, and ask for their help, because they're there is something wrong with our house. Our daughters are scared to death. We haven't slept in days. And so they come to the house, and Lorraine is like a psychic medium almost. She sees spirits, she can be in tune with all that. And she sees this dark entity surrounding the family. Yeah.
Conjuring.
Wait, are you recording?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. And she sees this dark entity surrounding the family. And she tells Ed, there is something not right about this house. They're in trouble. They're in danger. And Carolyn still has not told anyone about the bruises.
I feel at this point you should be maybe that wasn't normal.
By the way, I wake up with bruises every night.
Up at night.
And so, as the movie goes on, Ed and Lorraine Warren are helping them out, and you hear about this curse. It's the Bathsheba's curse, and you learn that the Bathsheba curse was Bathsheba was a woman who was caught sacrificing her son. Can I say that? I don't know. And then she disappeared, in a sense, permanently. She disappeared permanently by her own hand in the yard of that house on a tree.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Right.
and she cursed the land and anyone who dared to live there.
Why? What's she even mad about?
I don't know. I don't remember. And so you learn that after they move in, Bathsheba has decided to possess Carolyn. So that is where she's getting all the bruises. It's from Bathsheba.
Is that the mom?
Yes, Carolyn is the mom. And so as the movie goes on, Lorraine's like trying to get in contact with Bathsheba and everything, and then she finds out that Carolyn's being possessed and that Carolyn like hasn't told anyone, and that she like Carolyn knows that she's being targeted, and she hasn't told anyone. And so they go through this exorcism. Ed and Lorraine go through this exorcism, and what happens in the movie isn't actually what happens in real life. What happens in real life is actually worse than what happens in the movie. They just jazzed it up a little for movie because the movie's based on a true story but not actually the true story. So what happens in the movie is the exorcism is successful. They get Bathsheba out of Carolyn and they live a happy life. But what actually happens is as they are doing the exorcism, Roger, the dad, sees that Carolyn is being hurt, and he goes to run to Carolyn and is like, stop, you're hurting her, like, and Ed is telling him, don't touch her, you'll get possessed too, like, don't touch her, and he slaps Ed across the face.
Why?
And tells him to get out. And so he kicks Ed and Lorraine out, and we actually, I don't know what happens to the Perrin family after that. I know that Nancy, I think, stays in the house.
You're gonna stay in that house?
I think Nancy stayed in the house after it happened. I can actually...
I would have went home and to smack him. I'm
Right,
y'all call me
what?
over here.
I know all of, like, I think, yeah, Nancy remained living in the home for a year after her parents sold it. The youngest sister, April, died in 2017.
What happened?
Prescription overdose after undergoing surgery. And then it says the family's current lives is Andrea is still involved in the supernatural field, while the other Perrin sisters live their lives outside the spotlight, sometimes appearing in specials and documentaries related to their experience in the house. So parents are gone, just not alive anymore. I don't know what happened after the exorcism. All we know is that Ed got slapped and whatnot and kicked them out. So yeah, what happens in real life is actually way worse than what happens in the movie. They never actually finished the exorcism.
Yeah, so she was probably still possessed. And then, I don't know.
They probably moved and then she was either still possessed or went away or
Like, does it just go away though?
I don't think so. I don't know.
You just keep getting more and more violent.
Yeah. Maybe they did another exorcism. Who knows?
Maybe. But if you're gonna ask for exorcism, you gotta get the exorcism.
You gotta, like, if you're gonna ask for help, get the help. Don't, like,
what's the point in doing all that if you were gonna do that, you knew.
Yeah. It says, while the parents experienced a haunting, they all survived and moved on with their lives.
I couldn't move on after that. I wouldn't trust anyone.
Yeah, I would have been like, what the heck? Like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, I was possessed and then I just live on with my life after I get possessed? Like, hello?
I wouldn't even believe, like, someone was like, yeah, you were possessed. Like, what do you mean?
Like,
I was right here.
Like, what? But, like,
what is it like? Like, do you just forget what happened?
I don't know.
Is it just a gap in your memory?
That's a question I don't want to know the answer to. Like, actually, like, but, like, in the movie, so Bathsheba sacrificed her son. And so in the movie, when Carolyn was possessed by Bathsheba, she was going to sacrifice April. Like, because April was hiding underneath the house, and they were trying to find her and get her to a safe place because they found out that Carolyn or Bathsheba was going to find April and sacrifice her. And sacrifice her. And so when they found her, their camera guy or one of their assistants, I can't remember his name, Alex or something, I don't know, he yelled like, she's under the house, or like, she's under the kitchen. And they were in the basement, so Bathsheba ran and was going to go find April.
Bro.
And then Lorraine put her hand on Carolyn's head and was talking to her, and was and then Ed was saying the prayers and stuff to do the exorcism. And then that's what happens in the movie. I don't think that actually happened in real life, because that would be terrifying.
Why would you say she's under the kitchen? I don't know. Why would you say it out loud?
I don't know.
Why would you be
stupid?
Should have texted them or something. Conjuring movies are crazy. I remember liking them when you showed me them that one time, but for some reason I can't remember them now.
Yeah, I don't know. I've watched the Conjuring movies so many times that it's my favorite movie series. It's genuinely, I love the Conjuring series. They're not scary to me anymore.
Well, that's our podcast. See you in the next one.
Bye.